All
All
right,
right,
we're live.
we're alive. Happy Monday, everybody. Shannon, how you doing, man?
Good, good. What about you, man? How's your Monday going?
Good. Busy, busy, busy. Oh, I'm sure as
Yeah,
all of us are. All of us are. For the few people that may see this later, right? Our apologies. We have been trying to religiously do this podcast every Monday and Thursday, and it just slipped our mind last Thursday because we've been so busy. And so
right.
we're picking back up this week for sure. Um, what I wanted to do today, Shannon, and you can help me out with this is I wanted to really bring some specific value to anybody that may be watching that has a business. And I thought a good subject because me and you are actually going through this and you're teaching me some of these aspects, and I think it's really interesting, is how, right? If you're a new business that's never used Facebook before, right? It's like, what are some of the metrics that you should be looking at? And I think something that you really helped me to understand recently, right, is customer acquisition cost. And when you brought that up, that really brought me back to my old school life insurance days. This is like 10 years ago. And it's funny because when I was trying to be a salesman in the life insurance industry, I remember I used to pay for leads. And I remember it was pretty black and white for me. And I remember thinking, all right, there's a $15 lead and there's a $30 lead. And normally I would say, okay, it would take 10 of these leads to get one client, right? And that would help me to make sense of, is it worth it? Is it not to make that investment? And I think that you really opened my eyes recently on it's not it's not completely the same with social media, but it's very similar, right? You can get to
Yeah,
the point where you can understand what your cost per lead is, and then you sort it out with your ratio and all that. So let's do this. Let's talk to businesses right now. If you're an entrepreneur, if you own a small business and you have never used social media before to try to advertise and to get leads, right? Shannon, how can someone like that get started to get to that point where they can understand cost per lead?
got it. Yeah, I mean, I think understanding the metrics of social media, I think that's the beauty of it, right? I mean, we know like anyone can go in to Facebook and create an ad, but they have to understand what the numbers are and what they're looking for, even if things are not working. So we both, would agree that video ads, first and foremost, right, would be your best bet, right? Like doing video ads is where it's at. And when you're doing video ads on social media, the best thing about Facebook is they give you so many metrics to look at. So if you're doing a Facebook ad, targeted for messages, right? Like I want to get messages in because it's very hard. If you're going to do lead pages, there's an option for lead pages on Facebook. There's a way to do that. The thing that I personally like about messages is that it's hard to fake that profile, right? If someone's messaging, it's hard to fake it, as opposed to lead pages. You can get names and numbers, right? But some of them are fake, some of them aren't, right? But again, if you're good on the phones, if you're really like, look, I just need numbers, I would say that's the best place to go with. If you want to like, talk to someone, text messenger is a really good way to do it because you can also follow up with them as well. So let's say you have a video ad going out for messages or leads, right? When you first put it out, some of the things you should be looking for is what's your average watch time, right? You start going down the funnel because if someone, you're not going to get a lead if they can't get past the first 3 seconds of the video, right? It's just not possible, right? So your first goal is, okay, when I put this video out, look at how many people are watching more than 3 seconds, right? Two, there's an option there's a column to see how many people are watching 100%, right? And then what's the average percentage, right, of people watching my video? I would
Mm.
say a good rule of thumb is anything over 10%, you are doing great. 10% average watch time, right? Not everyone, but the average watch time is over 10%, especially if a video is anywhere from a minute to 2 minutes long, they're getting past that 3 second, wall, right? Because 3 seconds is when they scroll, they can watch it for 3 seconds and then just keep scrolling. For me, I don't really consider those
And
views.
I'm glad you said that. And I want to chime in there too, because I think this is a good learning experience. It was for me and maybe for others. Is don't be discouraged when your first couple of videos don't produce the results that you're looking for. And that's the beauty of social media in testing. I think that what I have quickly realized is, like me and Shannon, right? We did some ads, and one didn't perform well, and we tried a little different tactic, made a different video, ran an ad, it didn't perform well. But now what I realized is that when we changed the offer, when we adjusted the offer, then we realized, oh, that one actually starts producing results. So I think that
Right.
what you're saying in the ad, your offer, to Shannon's point, when are you bringing it up? Is it in the beginning? Is it in the middle? Is it the right? Like, all of those different variables will make a difference on how well your ad does. And I think here's my thought, is that if you are a small business and your profit per customer is, I don't know, and this is literally me just thinking of a number up, that is $500 per
Plus.
customer,
Yeah.
right? $500 plus. I think if you are a business with a $500 profit per customer and you have never tried Facebook ads, like, I think you absolutely should try. And because the reality is, if your cost per lead, is $10 and it takes 10 leads to get a sale, I mean, then that's about $100 investment to get that $500 customer. So that's just like simple math. And so
Right.
I think that it's huge. But here's what most people are wondering. I know I would wonder this if I never dabbled with social media. What's the entry fee? What's, nobody wants to lose money, especially when you're a small business. So what's a good amount of dollars? Like, hey, if you want to go and test, and you actually want to try to figure out what my cost per lead is, what would you say the floor is, the minimum that you'd have to put up to try to figure that out approximately?
Yeah, I know a lot of people go with the $5 a day, and I would just bump that up a little bit, just because the average CPM, the average cost per 1,000 people, is generally going up, and that $5 a day rule, I've been hearing that for a few years. So I would say conservatively, right, $7 if you can, $10 a day on each what's called an ad set, each target that you're going after, right? $10 a day, do it for 3 to 4 days, and just see how are they reacting to it, right? How are people reacting to it, and start adjusting at, when you see those numbers, right? If you're not getting any leads in the first, 2, 3 days, that's when you definitely need to adjust something, right? Like, we're
Right.
getting nothing, adjust, 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 right? And then what are you adjusting, right? It's, hey, let's adjust the video, let's adjust the offer. I would say also the structure of the video. Are you, putting B-roll in the first few seconds, right? When you need to be putting the offer right in the first 3 seconds, or something that to get them to stop scrolling
Yep.
in the first 3 seconds, right? Do you have captions on your videos, right? Are there subtitles in your videos? There should be, right? So that's another one too, right? You're targeting, right? That's another thing. Who am I targeting? If you're targeting a few different people, maybe split it up to see which audience is doing best, right?
Right.
Don't lump them up in
Exactly.
one target, right? So, I mean, the rule of thumb is always test out your target first and then your creative, because usually the right audience will respond better to a decent creative rather than vice versa, right? If you have a really great audience but a bad offering, bad creative, sometimes it still won't even matter, right? And
Right.
then
Right.
I would say, yeah, that's for people that want leads. Let's say those brick and mortar businesses. Definitely, what I would do is, if you're a brick and mortar and you're doing a grand opening, let's say if you're doing a restaurant or something like that, definitely, you don't need leads. You need everyone to know that you're there. So maybe doing an ad for reach, right, or awareness. You want to get the lowest cost per impression, right? You want to pay the least amount for 1,000 people, because you're not really trying to get a call to action. You're trying to get the word out that your restaurant's out there. So spend
Hmm.
as much as you can, at least a week before your grand opening, and just do a lot of reach and awareness ads, right? You're not looking for messages. You're not looking for leads. You're looking for people, eyeballs, to just see that, hey, there's a new donut shop in my area. Maybe do a buy one get one free. And if you really wanted to track on the social media side, just say, hey, say this phrase at the front, right? But yeah, again, going back to, if you want leads right away,
Hmm.
and then if you do go the lead form route, make sure you ask more than just a name, number, and name, email, and phone number, because on Facebook, they'll auto-populate someone's information. So that way all I have to do is click submit. And if all someone has to do is click on your ad and click submit, sometimes they forget they even fill out the form. I got that a lot. You have to ask a couple more questions and make so that way you can qualify leads. But if you're doing Messenger, you shouldn't have that issue.
Got it. And so I think it's an exciting opportunity for a businessman or woman that hasn't got involved with it. You know, just for transparency, we were doing some work with a pool service, and we figured out in this certain city the cost per lead was $20. And so I know for my own self, I was telling Shannon, hey, well, let's put in $100 to see if we can produce about 5 leads, right? Just to make sure it's on track. And
Right.
it's so funny, as soon as we put in those dollars, immediately we start getting a few leads, you know? And so I think that it's about that science. It's that sweet science, figuring out once you get the creative right, the offer right, and all that, and then you're able to get your cost per lead, it's almost like, all right, I mean, if it makes business sense and if your profit per customer, right, it's like push all as much chips as you can
Or
in on
gasoline
that.
on the fire, right? It's
Yes.
again what I like to comparative, and I wish I had 2 pens with me, but it's just like it's the audience and the creative. And once you start, you know what I mean, rubbing those two together, right? And okay, you know, let me try a different stick. Let me try a different stick. Once you rub, you know, the different audience, different creatives together, and then once you get some fire, once you get some smoke going, right? You get that
Right.
fire. Now it's just gasoline, right?
Right.
And people pay to figure out which sticks to rub together. Okay, people pay for that. So you know, don't go into it thinking, hey, I want fire right away. We all do, right? But I'm just saying, you know, once you figure out that formula, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that formula, and then boom, once you see that smoke coming, that's when you, like you said, scale. That's what you know. That's
Right.
when you scale
Right.
it.
Great. So here's what I want to do as for whoever watches this, right? What's the date today? October 26th, right? Whoever watches this, what I would like for them to do is if you've never used Facebook before, or if you've never used social media advertising before, and you want some help, right? I want to extend ourselves, right, to anybody who wants it. There's no restrictions. We will literally have a one-on-one session with you through Zoom, and we'll do a free audit, like no strings attached. Like the purpose of this podcast, just for clarity, right, is to bring value, is to bring as much value as we can without any catches, right? There's no like, all right, buy here, pay here. Nope, you get this. Like none of that. Like legitimately, we want to help businesses as much as we can, right, through our channels that we're trying to produce this off. So if anybody needs help with how to get started in that, or what should I do, or what should my strategy be, what should I make the video about, you know, how to structure it. And what's really neat and I'm excited about is me and Shannon are literally practicing all of these tactics on ourselves, and we're putting a lot of dollars towards a lot of these things. And I think by us putting a lot of dollars towards these experimental things, I really believe we can help save people money, because right, me
Yeah.
and Shannon, we can say like literally we've put like $500 towards a particular campaign, and even though we didn't get anything out of that campaign, I'd say the one thing that we got, which is extremely valuable, is we got data. We got data. So now we know, okay, those 2 sticks, to use your analogy, yeah, that don't create fire. So
Exactly.
let's try
Exactly.
this.
Put them
So
down.
you don't
Put something else on.
exactly. So
Yeah. And by the
I'm
way,
really
for the
excited about
record,
that.
and Josh, I didn't even tell you this. About 15 minutes ago, we got the first lead from that ad that you shot. So
Really? Oh
yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah,
Nice. Nice.
yeah.
Hey, well,
I'll
that's
be
good
sending
news.
you the phone number pretty soon here.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's good. Hey, on live television.
Yeah,
No.
live. We got a lead from that campaign that you ran.
Nice.
So
Nice.
we'll
Nice.
be updating people
Okay,
on
good. Good. Good.
how it
Well, hey,
goes.
excellent. Well, look, Mondays are short and sweet. We literally have been so busy. We haven't had too much of a moment to prepare for this. This today was a freestyle, basically. We hope we brought a little bit of value to everyone. Shannon, any updates that you wanted to share with the audience with about the company, or anything in general? Anything you want to share for today?
No, yeah. I mean, I think you know we're on a moving train here
Yeah.
on a lot of things. You know, we're going to bring back the Monday marketings. We just filmed a bunch of them, so you
Yep.
guys watch out for those. Those are going to be coming out pretty soon. We have brand new packages, you know, that a lot of people are going to like too. So I'm very excited about that. And our ad strategy, we're gonna build a system to where anyone can benefit from it, right? So we're doing a lot of market research, a lot of things like that. So I just want to put that out there for anyone who's excited, anyone who needs social media marketing help, anyone wants to update their brand, just
Yeah.
reach out to us. We'll definitely give you a free consultation, as far as if on that side. But
Yep.
those are the couple of things that we're working on as well. So just be on the lookout for that. So we're excited.
Right. And I'd say this, and I mean this for anybody that's listening. If you haven't used social media, there's no, it's a win-win. I'd say reach out, let us do a free consultation with you. And really probably for lack of a better way, because it's not even a consultation. We just want to help. Like legitimately, we actually want to share this data because right now we're at a point in our business where we're doing a whole bunch of testing. And it actually brings us value to be able to help others, right? So we can give this free advice, we can give this free strategy. I'm excited to see if it works. And I think that when I think about the pool service that we're helping, we literally have driven, how many leads would you say which is for free, which was done 100% for free. How many leads with our strategy and everything? How many did we drive to the pool company?
I mean, at this point, I think it was like 9 or 10, right? I think
9 or 10. And he's close, and he's actually got business from that.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I think you're like 4 or 5. I think he closed like half of those people.
Right. And so what I'm super excited about is I would love to talk to different businesses, right? To take the same strategies we're using on different businesses, share the strategy, right? See that it actually works in your industry, right? And really that brings you value because you're getting free business, you're getting free strategy, but at the same time, it reaffirms, right, what me and Shannon are trying to do because we're trying to build a history of case studies to make sure that as we're building our program and as we're building our own business, we want to make sure that we're putting out the best product possible. And there's no shortcut to that other than testing. So why not get some value from it if small businesses can, So anyways, just wanted to put that out there for anyone that might be listening. So at any rate, man, great podcast. We will see everybody on Thursday, and we will go from there. Last thing, we have 50 subscribers, so we're still at 50 on YouTube. Okay, we're still aiming for 100. So please, one person that's watching this, okay, please one person has to subscribe or create another YouTube account and subscribe with that. That's all we want. All right, that's all we want. Right. So at any rate, thanks so much for watching. Hope you got something from this, Shannon. Have a good night, man.